Hey guys, in this video we're going to soup up your song by adding some effects and adjusting the volume, so overall mixing. And after that we're going to export your song. Let's go. An important plugin to get familiar with is the equalizer, short for EQ. Let's put an EQ plugin as an insert into the drums we made in the last video. So click on an empty cell in your drum track over here, drag your mouse to multi-channel plugin, then to EQ, and finally EQ3, a one-band EQ, then click. So this window is your EQ. With an EQ you'll be able to adjust different frequencies in your sound. I'll drag this dot to demonstrate. When I drag and raise the dot in this area, I'm adjusting the bass frequencies. When I drag it here, I'm adjusting the middle frequencies, and when I drag it over here, I'm adjusting the treble frequencies. So let's leave a little peak, and I'll show you what all these knobs do. When I adjust the frequency knob, I'm adjusting the frequency. So the low frequencies over here are the bass, and the high frequencies over here is treble. And the gain knob raises the peak, as you can see. So because we have our dot here, and we're boosting the gain, making the peak higher, we're adding more treble. So same thing here. If I was to go back to the freak knob and take it to the beginning, now we're adjusting the loudness and the gain of the bass frequencies like so. And that's basically it. And then the filter knob adjusts the width of it. If we make a really skinny peak, you'll see that it's affecting the middle frequencies. But if we make the peak really wide, you're raising many frequencies at once. So here you're actually raising a little bit of the bass and the treble as well. So for this drum track, let's just put a little bit of a bassier punch. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the peak skinnier. So we're going to take the filter knob and make the peak a little bit skinnier. Then in the freak knob, we're going to adjust the peak to the bass frequencies over here. And let's also not have so much bass. I know that we want to piss off the neighbors, but let's be considerate. And let's play. So there we go. Let's close the EQ plugin and click on an empty cell in our melodic synthesizer track. Click on the cell, multi-channel plugins, and reverb, and click deverb. So as I said, deverb is a reverb plugin. Reverb can be thought as echo. When you make a sound like a clap, that sound will bounce all over the room, also known as reflections. These reflections create this reverb or echoey sound. Decay means how long your reverb time is. When you make a sound and it bounces throughout your room, it'll slowly run out of energy and die out. So with decay, you adjust how soon your reverb ends. Here's pre-delay, which means that when you clap and the sound moves from your hands to hit the first wall. In other words, you're adjusting the first reflection with pre-delay. This is diffusion. Diffusion is a reflective surface's ability to spread the echo around. A room with flat walls has little diffusion, because sound will hit the wall and reflect back straight and it doesn't scatter. However, a stone wall with rounded rocks has a lot of diffusion because the sound will hit the uneven surfaces and scatter like crazy. Dry and wet means how much reverb do you want. When this is dry, that means it's your sound without an effect. And when we adjust this all the way to the wet, it's adding the reverb effect on top of your sound. With these two knobs, you can cut off treble from your sound, so it's basically lessening treble frequencies on the EQ I just showed you a while back. So for now, I'm just going to select the medium hall preset from here and just see how that sounds. So let's listen to our song. Very distant sounding. But let's do a bit of a balance here. So let's go to the wet slider and put that halfway. Now let's listen. There we go. Now that we have some reverb, let's close this. And now I want to introduce you to adjusting the volume of each instrument. It works by dragging your mouse to the right side of where it says volume on one track. And now you can click and hold and drag this slider here. That's your volume, your track volume. As you can see, it works the same on the other track. Adjust it like so. If your tracks are too loud, you'll run into a problem, and that is that your music will start to distort and sound bad. But if you want your music to be super loud, you can always use a tool called a limiter. So to do that, you want to add a limiter plugin to your master track. We don't have a master track yet, so let's go ahead and add that. So let's click on track again, then new, make your track stereo again, then change audio track to master fader this time, and click create. So let's play that music. As you can see from the master track's volume levels, red indicators is that your music is distorting, also known as clipping. To make these indicators go away temporarily, you can simply click them, but they don't go away until you've done something about this problem. So you'll add a limiter plugin the same way you've done with other tracks. So we'll click on an empty cell on the master track here, go to multi-channel plugins, dynamics, and click on DIN 3, compressor/limiter. What a limiter basically does is it keeps your music from getting too loud and getting distorted. Imagine that your fist is your loud pumping music, and you're trying to punch through the ceiling of your apartment, but you can't because there's a wall. That's a limiter. It's basically a type of compression, but compression is something that we'll talk about in another video. What we'll do here is add a preset by clicking on factory default over here and choose gentle limiting. Now let's play the music. As you can see from your master track's volume levels, the red indicators don't show anymore. Your music isn't distorting, and that's great. Now that we've added effects, adjusted the volume, and put a limiter on the master track, our song is finally done. You're probably dying to get this song out of Pro Tools, so let's do that. What you want to do now is set your starting and ending point of your song before you export it. So to do that, you take your mouse and click around here where your song ends, and then drag to the beginning. That's your starting and end point. Then click on File, drag down to Export, and click on Audio Mix. And what you want to do now is name your song. So mine was Song 1. Next you want to determine where your file is going to be saved. So you click on Choose down here, and I'll just take Desktop because it makes sense. Then you click on Open, and that's it. Now all you do is click on Export, and you're done. That's it. So there you have it. You've composed and mixed your very first song from scratch. Awesome. Now that you've got the basics down of the tools that I showed you, it's good to fiddle around with them more on your own time to see what else they do. So that wraps up our series. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked this video, please check out our channel for more content like this, and hope you have a good day. See you later, guys.